Thank you, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. We at Ooredoo are extremely proud to share what actually we did with the FIFA World Cup. While it might be an event that most people would understand is substantially big and therefore might assume that there's not much to be done, roaming most of it happens on its own. We actually believed that this is a good opportunity for us to showcase our brand as well as showcase our footprint uh, across the world, leveraging this occasion. So we didn't take it like any other occasion. We actually decided to actually get into it and effect change along with our OPCO Qatar, which is our flagship operation across our footprint. So basically, the background to all of this is that Ooredoo is the title sponsor for the event. Were the title sponsors for Middle East Africa. We had huge invest. Our journey actually for this event began 8 to 10 years back, where we started planning the technology requirements at a domestic level as well as at an international level to be able to share with people that traveled into Qatar or people from Qatar to get a world class experience. The objective was very clear. The brand Ooredoo needs to be uh, signify a lot and signify the way that we are working to make sure we connect people's lives and make their lives much richer. And there was obviously an entire network rollout at stadiums. There were 8 stadiums, and a huge amount of all this groundwork was done by our OPCO team at Qatar. And they actually worked night and day to make all of this happen. It also had specialized partners on ground, whether they were the network providers, they were even from the roaming side. We did have our IPX provider, BIX, uh, at us at our service operations center throughout the tournament to ensure that customers, if there were any customer challenges, they were there to respond and resolve those issues. We also used this occasion to engage with stakeholders, whether it was government, local government, or our own industry. So we were happy to share updates with GSMA as well as IO and all the industry bodies we're part of. Like I said, it meant a lot to us, and that's the main reason why we said we'd like to engage all stakeholders and make them understand the power of Ooredoo and us having worked together. Okay. So that's the basic background. On the work plan, like I said, a lot of people came around to make this work plan in effect and make it work. So it's uh, the slides don't pay respects to the people that did take part, but there's a lot of effort that went into it. A large part of that was obviously from Qatar itself as an OPCO. We said, they worked tirelessly for a long, long while to get everything ready. And there were a lot of those updates coming in from our OPCO in Qatar, the kind of traffic and the kind of load that the network faced and the way they were able to handle all of it. So technology was one significant investment. We did leverage, utilize investments. We did a lot of pilots, especially to understand how do we ensure roamers get quality of network and quality of an experience. This is also because we wanted to understand, especially with the evolving 4G, 5G eras and the new technologies, we wanted to understand how customers experience roaming on 4G and 5G. And that would also give us a lot of insights when our customers travel out. So it was a mix of both those things. We also use machine learning and other equipment to improve as well as find deficiencies in service and to be able to overcome them proactively rather than them becoming critical bottlenecks. And we did have a couple of fiber cuts, but that did not stop our service and our service delivery. On the commercial sides, we did use this occasion to leverage and deepen relationships, especially with the large groups, because we believe that this is just not an occasion that happens every year. And we also wanted to support groups in their use cases which they were experimenting with, uh, whether it was uh, uh, whether it was TV, whether it was broadcasting and things like that. We were able to support them in their roaming requirements as well. We use this also to deepen engagements, especially like I said, whether it was groups or it was the industry. We use this to do that, and we also obviously monetized available capacity. Going on to the next slide, I think, like we said, there were three main areas that we did focus on. One was the technical part or technical readiness. Secondly, was the commercial readiness. Third was customer experience, because we all believe today, especially as we move into more and more data networks, customer experience becomes very important, and outcomes, and basically highlighting what are the kinds of outcomes that we got. So in each of these, I think the big points on the technical side is basically using AI and ML to basically help us look at problems and be able to solve them. At the same time, respond to issues faster and get those improved. Obviously, QS was improved, and we did have a SOC where we had all the technology partners in that SOC in one location to respond faster to complaints. We had our IPX partner BIX, which was stationed along with our people to ensure that roaming customers got the best quality, especially traveling into Qatar. Happy to report there were not too many complaints, and most networks did not have any challenge on our network. We also use this occasion to create direct connectivity amongst our markets, basically to try and simulate and try and understand whether doing that will help improve quality of service. And like I said, quality and customer experience is very, very important to us. And therefore, we believed that by doing direct connectivity, we at least remove the different layers which might cause complaints. And because both sides are Ooredoo, we can actually pilot a lot of stuff in terms of quality and understand exactly what are the reasons why customers have issues when they roam, and to be able to get a lot of use cases which we can work on. Then we translated it into commercial as well, because one of the things we wanted to gauge is, with all of this technology, does commercial make a lot of difference in terms of, we at the end of the day, we understand that the Middle East, especially the three of our biggest markets are in the Middle East, and our footprint is quite diverse because we have first world, second world, third world countries. It would be very good for us to understand the commercial technology linkage, and the best place to try and do that is to do it within the OPCO, so that we have learnings that we can share with the rest of the world. Like we said, media broadcast support was there. We also did a little bit of branding, especially for Ooredoo customers coming in and in our markets, because obviously as a title sponsor, we did have that responsibility for the World Cup, and therefore we leveraged that in our other markets for customers traveling into Qatar. And we also did a lot of building tests and trials. Again, this predominantly from our Qatar team, to ensure that we were billing correctly, we had all services live, especially in the footprint that mattered, and able to support visitors or football fans that come in. So, like we said right from the beginning, it's not just another event that we looked at. We said that this event we need to use to showcase what Ooredoo is, as well as use this event to gain insights which will help us contribute back to the industry that we all love. And while we did all of this, I think we also wanted to integrate and interact with our other groups, and which is why we allowed for special intergroup rates during the World Cup, overlying on their existing commitment, so that they didn't have to worry about quotas getting over or their quota not being sufficient. At the same time, we did try, because we weren't obviously able to accommodate all visitors into Qatar. There were flights from Kuwait into Qatar. There was flights from Oman into Qatar. We actually, for the first time, tried doing a one group deal for certain groups, so that they didn't have to worry about differential prices for customers that travel in and out during the World Cup. So that, to me, these were the two big significant, I wouldn't call it an innovation, but I'd call it attention to detail. And to me, honestly, that is also important because everything can't be innovation, right? Innovation is also about the ability to use what you have and try and tweak it to make sure that people who partner with us gain significant advantage from. Like we said, I think the important innovations were all in the experience area, customer experience area. Like I said, I can't stress the amount of importance we gave, to the SOC, the Network Operations Center, where Qatar, the OPCO itself took charge of it, had all our partners under one roof, so that the turnaround times were much faster. Customers who had, if at all, had an issue were served faster. At the same time, they got amazing throughput. We had people, especially during in the stadium, watching the matches, beaming the match live across Instagram and all the social media. And we didn't have too many complaints of slow speed or all the regular issues that come. And this I'm talking of both domestic as well as roaming customers, because we did not differentiate between local and roaming customers. And that's translated into 5G and low latency. It also translated in superior voice quality as well as network availability being everywhere. So I think these were the points that, like we said, we needed to go far beyond uh, what is the normal, because obviously an event this size will have a normal hygiene that you would drive, and we coupled it with a couple or three of two or three innovations, like I said, leveraging the technology from being passive to active, which to me is innovative because a lot of people at this time when there's so much happening would not have the time or the resources to actually think through all of these various areas. And that's the only reason why that we believe that we'd like to share this with the fraternity, because it could help us all, get events of this magnitude managed better. Uh, and like I said, it was a basically a there's a timeline to it. It's not that it all happened at one time. It's all started from 2017. Actually, the World Cup was awarded to Qatar 10 years back, but we started with planning it from 2017. We did have an Arab Cup, which was a smaller basically a football tournament for the Arab nations in 21. We used that as a trial and tried to see if there is something we can do there. So we learned a lot over there, which we brought in to the World Cup, and we were able to bring a lot of these things into practice during the World Cup. Uh, and the rest of it is, like I've already explained, a lot of it is testing, launching, as well as technical and commercial alignments. We did not think it's a commercial or a technical thing. We said we need to do it together to make the customer's life easier. At the same time, try and make Ooredoo as a brand, especially for markets where Ooredoo is present in the Middle East. Being a title sponsor, we carried that additional responsibility of ensuring a seamless experience, and which was an important thing that we needed to do. So this is pretty much what we've done, and I'm happy to take questions. Thank you.